It's nice to add to your portfolio. If you don't have any numismatic coins and you're looking to invest, I wouldn't be purchasing the high relief double eagle that just came out in 2009. You are better better off purchasing a Mint State 60 to $20 Liberty. So it's just a nice coin that they produce, a beautiful coin, and just to add it is fine, but I wouldn't be planning my portfolio around that coin. And the grade on the coin is just minted, so it's certainly uncirculated, and they didn't certify them to this date. I'm sure in the future you'll begin to see some of them that are certified, but it's not necessary to purchase one that is certified. Prior to the program, we talked about the devaluation of the currencies, and this question's in from Lee. How would the government go about devaluing the dollar? Would they do it by printing more dollars? And the reason he asked is that he heard on the news that the Russians had devalued their currency by 6% in 1 week, and then again another 6% a week or two later.
No, they usually do it by edict, and sometimes they will also call in the currency and issue new currency. And it might be like with East Germany and West Germany. Once the wall came down after 1989, it was either in 90 or 91. I think it was 90. The West German government exchanged 1 for 1. And that was a terrible burden on the West German people because they should have gotten 10, East German marks for every West German mark. And it really hindered the development of Eastern Germany for a long time. But sometimes when government believes that their currency is in a state where it has to be revalued, they might say, well, we're going to call in all the currency in the United States, and we're going to give you 1 new one for 5 old ones, or maybe 1 new dollar for 10 old ones. Who knows? But governments have done that in the past. And sometimes they don't take in the dollars that are outside the country. England in the 1930s went off the gold standard, and they also devalued their currency and changed their currency. And in that process, with the exception of the colonies, they wouldn't accept the pound from anybody else, so the people who had them get stuck with them. And usually when governments do that, they have a very short time frame, less than 3 months normally. And so there's different ways you can devalue the dollar, and other currencies as well get devalued every day against gold. And that started to happen about 3.5 to 4 years ago. And most people don't even take any notice of it. But if you look at some of the charts of, say, the U.S. dollar versus the price of gold, well, that's pretty obvious because gold is expressed in dollars. So gold over an 8-year period went from $270 an ounce approximately. The low was $252. But we'll say $270 to $900 or $1,033, whatever number you want to pick. But it was reflected in the price of gold, the devaluing of the value of the dollar.
You know, Bob, there's still a lot of people so concerned that they're going to have gold dropping from, at this level once it hits 1,000 back down to, 450 like it did in 80 when it went to 850 back down. And
well, that's fine. But let me ask them, where are they going to go with their money?
Yeah.
Where are they going to invest? They want to buy bonds when interest rates are zero, and the only way that yields can go is up, and the only way that bonds can go is down? No, I don't think so. Second of all, and incidentally, beware of these companies, banks, who are offering yields of 3.5%, or 5 or 7%. The higher the yield, the bigger the risk. And don't get sucked in lose your money. And all that interest you got will be for nothing. And in this kind of market, you don't want to be there. You going to go in the stock market? I don't think so. Earnings are dreadful. The economy's dreadful. We've begun a depression. The stock market's going lower. You don't want to be there. Now, commodities have come down, and I expect them to rally 30, 50% maybe. Maybe. But I don't want to take that risk. Some people will. We just had the letter pertaining to agriculture. That's okay. Everybody's different. You do what you want. I wouldn't do that. The only thing I know is gold and silver. I don't care where it goes. In my mind, if gold went from 900 to 450, which would be a 50% drop, and everything dropped 70, 80, or 90%, I'd be happy. I don't think that's going to happen. But you're still better off than you would be in a house or a building or a business or whatever. You see, there's no place else to go. You've got to get it through your head. You've got to be in gold and silver assets, and if you're not, you're going to get slaughtered. And just look, recently, we had the commercials on Comex. They increased their short position big time. In prices probably between $8.40 and probably $8.12, because that was the low just recently here. And now we're over 900. That means they took another loss. That's the second one in a row. So, you know, even the pros can be wrong in here. So gold and silver in these markets are the only place to be. And if somebody else comes up with a better idea, I want to know about it.
Today the government fell in Iceland after the total failure of their economy. Big demonstrations are happening at present in Iceland. Is this to prelude to world economic and governmental downfall?
I think, and I said this in the forecast of the Iceland, first of all, there's only 320,000 people there. Now, granted, it's a home to 320,000 people, but it is not in the big leagues. I mean, you know, there's cities all over the world that have more than 320,000 people. What their banking community did is go off the deep end. I don't know how much they were leveraged, probably 100 or more to 1, which is insanity. They knew what they were doing, and the politicians knew what they were doing, you know, with their banks. And they were probably cut in on the action. Who knows? And, you know, there's corruption in every government. But it was expected that that government would fall. We had the PM say the other day that he was leaving because, I don't know, he had some kind of disease, cancer or something. And so he had to leave in May or April or March or something. But the point is, they knew the government was going to fall. But it could be an example of what's going to happen in many, many countries, particularly Eastern Europe, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Bulgaria, Romania, and Greece have all had riots. Wait till the unemployment climbs in cities like Paris and Marseille. London, large, non-native populations, big ones, a lot of Muslims. They're going to have riots like you couldn't believe. It's going to be very nasty. I don't think they'll get too bad in Germany. But all over, everybody's going to have problems. And maybe Iceland's just the first one. That's all.
Was Hitler an illuminist?
Say that again?
Was Adolf Hitler an illuminist?